Severe tropical storm Trami reaching Luzon. So another Philippine threat materializes. This tropical storm, nearly a typhoon, threatening the east coast of Luzon right now and will make landfall shortly. 16.7 north, 122.8 degrees east. The Philippine name, of course, Kristine. Well, this storm is heading into land shortly with very heavy rainfall in that big bulk of convection displaced to its southern side. Winds near 70 miles per hour, 110 kilometers per hour, and a pressure of 985 millibars moving nearly northwest at 11 miles per hour or 18 Ks. This is information as of 7 p.m. local time in the Philippines, 8 p.m. in Tokyo. Well, here's its current position displayed on the map with its wind field extending out up to 165 nautical miles off to its northeastern quadrant. And it could have strengthened quite a bit more before landfall. We're quite thankful it didn't get any stronger than this, although it could strengthen on the other side. It is currently 56 kilometers from Palanan, 82 from Dilasag to the south, 141 from Santiago inland, 155 from Tuguegarao for the north, and 249 from Baguio towards the west. Well, Signal 3 warnings are in effect, and a storm surge warning also in effect for large parts of the eastern coast of Luzon, where they could be expecting between 2 and 3 meters of storm surge, even as far south as northern Quezon. So that is the primary hazard, because most of the rain that would be falling over the landfall area has already occurred, although a lot of it may still be on the way. But it is a large storm. I expect to deliver that storm surge of over 2 meters to large parts of the Luzon coast. A smaller surge likely on the western coastline, of course. Heavy rain and strong winds will continue overnight as the storm moves through, and certainly won't be clear of the Philippines by morning either. So here's its current position and the forecast then, based on the latest model projections. Consensus, taking it towards the west-northwest. It will be turning a little bit further soon, and then maybe jogging a little bit southwards near Hainan, and then into the coast of Vietnam, and then up towards, further inland through Indochina, and dissipating quite quickly after landfall early in the week towards Tuesday. Or a bit earlier than that, towards the end of the weekend actually. The current max sustained winds then 70 miles per hour, good support from JMA and Pagasa, but the JTWC flagging currently going with 50 miles per hour, probably weighted down by those ADT values, which are still relatively low, only around 45 miles per hour, but we've got good indications that the storm is much stronger than that, although it is fighting very hard against wind shear, and that is what's causing the storm's lopsided appearance at the moment. Well, here's a complexion of all of those warnings that are in effect across the Philippines. Signal 3 over a large tract of central Luzon there, and Signal 2 warnings for almost the entire island, apart from some of those most southern provinces, and Signal 1 warnings extending quite far south, really owing to the size of the storm, as far south as Bohol. Well, here is the storm surge graphic as well from Pagasa, showing the current situation, and pretty much what I was saying there, with those high amounts of surge, 2 to 3 meters in the orange zone, up to 2 meters in that yellow zone. And this is the model output showing what we're expecting over the next few days. There it is, possible strengthening as it nears Hainan, then it slinks southwards just a little bit there towards Vietnam. Bit of stalling there, a bit of trepidation from the storm as it moves up against that land area, but we think it will move inland quite clearly and then die off overland, although there is a small chance that it could stall along the coast and die off there. You can also see another system off to the right hand side developing into a substantial storm towards the end of that loop there in the Philippine Sea. Looks like that's about to recurve. Look at the rainfall, and most of it now is concentrated around the southwest there of Luzon, so it could be Manila and the whole urban area around there, and all along the west coast getting the massive amounts of rainfall over the next 24 hours. Then off it goes towards China and Vietnam, and large parts there could receive some very high amounts of rain as well. Watch how it trains towards the west and the southwestern side of the storm there, and the coast of Vietnam getting a lot of rainfall there around the 28th, 29th of October. And we can take a look at how that affects things in terms of total rainfall expectations. And actually, Vietnam is slated at the moment from the GFS model to get more rain than the Philippines. Now, this is in addition to what we've already seen. We know there's been a lot of rain along the eastern Philippines recently, but most of the upcoming rainfall will be on the western side. Still, some eastern areas near the landfall zone will get a lot more rainfall, up towards 200 millimeters, but towards the southwest of Luzon there, double it, getting up towards 400 millimeters there. And the hotspot is actually on the island of Panay towards the south there, 17 inches, that's getting towards 500 millimeters, and 300 on Negros Island as well. Towards the west there over Vietnam, we saw it up to 30 something inches there too, so that is an extremely high value, around 800 millimeters. There's the sea surface temperatures, looking decent right now, and you can see all around the storm temperatures pushing 30-31 degrees Celsius. They'll drop a little bit towards the northern part of the South China Sea, so it's really in the storm's best interest to stay further south. If it does so, it will have warmer sea surface temperatures to deal with, and it will be able to hold its strength and strengthen more, as Pagasa are forecasting on their forecast cone. They're expecting it to become a typhoon near Hainan. Well, here's the latest satellite imagery, and it's hard to say exactly what's going on with this. Some might argue it's almost partially exposed, with all of that wind shear to the north really tearing away the cloud cover and pushing it towards the southern side of the storm. But with the extremely high cloud tops, it does look quite decent, and decent enough to suggest that it is a borderline typhoon, which is what the local agencies are saying. So 70 mile per hour winds, 110 kilometers per hour. This is an evolution of the storm throughout the day today, and you can see that this trend has been apparent all day actually. Most of that cloud convection has been on the southern side. It's accelerated throughout the day though, and we've seen more and more of that convection and getting closer to the center as the day went on. So it was all along the southern side, the southern part of Luzon, which got very high amounts of rainfall during the daylight hours of today, and now spreading onto Luzon, onto central and northern Luzon as well. So here it is, general movement still northwesterly. We expect more of a westward turn shortly as we look at the Force 13 satellite imagery here. You can take a look at these live images on our website, force13.com/satellite. Water vapor imagery showing tons of moisture in those cloud tops as well, and look how high they're extending up. A few areas there of -90s, very present, very high cloud tops there, and really showing just how much moisture content is inside those clouds and how much energy there is in general. Large parts of Luzon haven't seen very much rainfall at all yet when you look at the western side there because of that wind shear, but they will be starting to feel it a lot more during the later part of tonight. Here's some radar imagery. It's a little bit glitchy there, but you can see some very dark colors there into the pinks, really showing some extremely high rainfall amounts getting closer to the coast. And here's some crude imagery of precipitation derived from satellite showing that this storm is about to make landfall in the next few hours.